Hey, what's up, everyone? Morey here, and today we'll be taking a look at Marcel Jacobs in the European Championships and comparing that to when he won the gold medal in 2021. And we'll go ahead and hop right into the video here. So, big thing that really stands out when watching the mechanics of Marcel Jacobs, we're looking here and then here, is I would say the start kind of drive phase. So, when we look to see Marcel Jacobs, this is the European Championships. He just ran 10:03 here, and then he ran 9:8 when he won the Olympic Championship or the Olympic Finals. And what stands out to me is he's just a lot more, I think, outwards in the Olympics with like his first few steps. We could see how as he's going there, first four steps, he's again a lot more outwards. I think covered a little bit better ground through there. He seems a little limited to me with his left leg and how he's getting the left leg up and through. Where in when he was running the Olympics, I think he was getting a little bit more knee drive through that left side, a little bit more height through there. And even as we see him get into his top speed, I think he's able to do a little bit better job. He seems a little stiff, a little tight through like the left quad, where in the 9.8 here, seems like he was able to get a little bit more height there, just feels more comfortable, looks more comfortable as he's getting that leg through and the positioning of that. But it's really not a huge difference. And another thing that really stood out to me here with the European Championships in comparison to when he won the gold medal is when you look at the end and how he kind of lunges here, or it gets into those last few steps. When I really broke it down, what this step ends up being is, you can see it's with that outside leg there. Boom, hits it. This is step number 44. And then when we look at him running the Olympics, this is going to be the outside leg that touches last. That's step 45. So he actually took less steps in the European Championship, but to me is a good thing. So it shows that he is really in a pretty good position to run a good time coming into the Olympic trials. Because right now is not necessarily a time that you want to be peaking, and you could definitely tell he's trying out some different things within his mechanics. And to me, I think in the front side mechanics, he is able to really get a good amount of extension on both sides and is covering a lot of ground with his steps. Obviously, he took a whole step off of his race, and so when you really break it down, I think that there's a lot of things that he could build off of as he's going into the Olympic trials. So he talked about at the end that he would like to have ran closer to a 9.95. So he wasn't really expecting to run anything too great. He wasn't expecting to run 9.7 or 9.8 or anything like that. So that gives the expectation that he knows that he's not in top form, and he still has the mentality that he wants to be able to peak next month and not this month, or more towards the end of next month. So he still has about 6 weeks until the Olympic trials, and so he has plenty of time to be able to make the adjustments that he needs. And I think it's a good sign that he ended up taking less steps, and he still caught everybody here. I mean, again, the time wasn't amazing. We've had a lot better times. I mean, Fernando Mignola just ran 9.7. We've had some 9.8s with Noah Lyles and Oblique Seville. Fred Curley's obviously going to end up being a very competitive 100-meter runner. Tobogo, Andre de Grasse, all these guys are going to be really, really good. And so in order for him to be able to beat these guys, he's going to have to probably or definitely run under 9.9. But again, I think that he's in a good form to be able to do that. And what's important to me is that he won the race, right? And he came back to be able to run the race. He was in a position where he was a little bit behind. I think his start wasn't great. I think he knows his start wasn't great. He had a much better start in the Olympics in terms of the distance. It does look like here he's a little bit further back as this foot's hitting the ground in comparison to here. He's a little bit more on his toes as he's landing. And to me, it looks like he is really going through a better drive phase in the Olympics. He gets through his drive phase a little bit early here, and is also, to me, when he gets into his top speed, starts landing a lot more on the heels. Typically when we start to, or towards the heels, than actually land on his heels. But here he looks a lot more forward in his running position, keeping a good forward lean, where here he seems to be getting a little bit more back into his sprint. That could be why he was able to cover the 100 in less steps, is that he's getting a little bit more power out of each step. He's really emphasizing the generation of power into the ground and maximizing that. And that's what's making it so he's covering more distance. And then therefore we could see, or we could predict that if he can really put an emphasis on full contact time and limit the full contact time, or if there's still a focus on being able to make some adjustments within that particular part of the run, I think we're going to see a lot of great things here coming into the summer months. I think there's a lot of similarities between when he was running in the Olympics and where he's at now. And so I think that, again, he's in a good position to really run a great time going into the 100-meter. I mean, we've seen him win a Olympic championship. We've seen him win the 60-meter indoor afterwards. Seemed like he had some injuries going into the World Championships last year, and so he struggled there. But going into another Olympic season, I mean, we can see a lot of great things from his running and where he's at within his mechanics. And so we could probably see some and expect some great things when it's coming to the Olympics next month. And so to me, I think that there's still hope for him to be able to do really well. I'd love to hear what you guys think and who you think is the favorite to win the 100-meter. Again, I think that there's some great guys. We got Andre DeGoss. Noah Lyles obviously is a big one. Oblique Seville, because he beat Noah Lyles. Fred Curley's still really high up there. So I'd love to hear what you guys think and who's going to win the 100-meter this year in the Olympics and what you think of the breakdown.